Mistral, the European LLM player who took the foundational model world by storm with their open source models. They have launched their first closed source model called Mistral Large, and it's already performing pretty close to GPT-4. They are number two currently in the market with respect to performance. So when I say performance, I'm talking about reasoning capabilities, accuracy, expected outcomes, etc. So and the best part is they're 20% cheaper than GPT-4 Turbo, which is the cheapest, most capable model from OpenAI. So a fantastic, I think, good thing for developers because now we don't have to haggle with the open source models, or obviously developers who wanted to use Mistral, they had to go to Hugging Face or Together AI or Grok even for that matter. But now with Mistral launching Large directly, that's a huge update. And Mistral also is not stopping there. They also went ahead and launched Late Chat, which is equivalent to Chat GPT, where you can go and chat with the model as well. So so there are concerns in the market. For example, Hugging Face folks came out and said, "Hey, uh, I mean, this is not great because Mistral we thought will be open source for a long period." But I'll probably I have my opinion on that because I mean, if someone is investing $100 million and more $1 million into a company, why would they would obviously look at earning revenue at some point in time. So yes, that's the news on Mistral Large. Rishabh, are you using Mistral Large already? What's happening?
Not yet, Shiva, but I would definitely want to update our listeners in terms of how they can consume this right now, right? So I think one is that it's available as part of the chat platform, which is available in the beta phase right now, which is called La Chat. Obviously, going back to the French terminology, right? And number two, there it also supports function calling, right, for the developers to start including it in their code, API integration, and so on and so forth. I think you already mentioned, Shiva, that at least in the initial terms, it has performed much better than Claude V2 and at
Yeah.
least at par with GPT-4. But I agree with one point, Shiva, is and sorry, before I get into that, one more update. It's actually performed, and while probably we've seen most of these LLMs and most of the white papers that at least I've gone through, and the experience that we've had with multiple languages is that these transformer models give better output when you give them input in English, right? So most of the use
Hmm.
cases that we built in, like we are doing this for a European customer, Swedish customer, right? We built a translation there on top of GPT-4, right?
Hmm.
Before we actually send the data to GPT-4, because these transformer models tend to perform better when you give it an English input. But
Hmm.
with Mistral, what I've read through, Shiva, while we are yet to try it out, that at least in the French and the Italian language, it's giving almost similar accuracy to what it is giving for with
Hmm.
English as well, right? So that's definitely a very interesting update because as a multi language model, probably Mistral would be one of those models which is performing well, right? Even if you don't have a translation there on top of it, right? But I totally agree with you, Shiva. Is now Mistral is looking towards, while they've given us really good open source models, right? Now they're slowly looking, and we have two very additional updates. I think Mistral was all over the news for multiple updates this week, right? Our two next updates are also on Mistral, but now they're actually looking for how do they start monetizing some of these platforms, right? And I think this and the next two announcements that we have around are probably towards in that step, right?